Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In tonight's episode, we bring you a terrifying true story, a night that changed a 12-year-old's life forever. So turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and prepare yourself for what lies beyond the morgue doors. It was a Friday evening in 2023, and everything felt painfully ordinary. I was only 13. The warm glow from the hallway lights spilled softly across the living room. Rain tapped rhythmically against the window, and the TV droned in the background. The kind of quiet, almost lifeless atmosphere you barely notice until it changes. I sat on the couch, half watching a boring cartoon, my mind wandering. The soft hum of the TV was drowned out by the rain and the occasional gust of cold wind sneaking through the old window frames. Upstairs, my mom was in her bedroom, lost in her nightly routine. Moisturizer on her face, oil in her hair, taking her time in front of the mirror. I knew better than to disturb her until she was done. Then suddenly, knock, knock. The sound was soft but clear, enough to send a ripple of tension through my chest. I got up slowly, walking toward the front door without really thinking. Who could it be? This late? I hesitated, peering through the peephole, and froze. It was Mr. Dalvin, my dad's old friend. His gray hair was plastered to his head from the rain, his face pale, eyes uneasy. I opened the door a crack. "Hi, Mr. Dalvin," I said, my voice trembling. He didn't smile. His expression alone told me something was wrong. "Hey, kid, I need to talk to your mom. It's your dad. He's been in an accident. He's in the hospital." A cold wave shot through my body. I bolted upstairs, told my mom, and within seconds, she was downstairs, wide-eyed and shaken. We rushed to Mr. Dalvin's car, the rain soaking us instantly. Streetlights shimmered on the wet asphalt, every turn of the car pulling my stomach tighter with dread. The hospital air smelled like antiseptic, that sharp metallic tang that seemed stronger at night. Harsh fluorescent lights reflected off the polished floors. Nurses in white moved quickly between rooms. Machines beeped somewhere down the hall. We were led to the operating room waiting area. My mom signed a few forms, clutching her purse tightly before collapsing into one of the chairs. I couldn't sit still. My knees bounced, my hands shook, every clock tick echoing in my ears. Every time we asked for updates, Mr. Dalvin answered in a low voice, "Still in surgery. No visitors allowed yet. Critical condition." By 1 a.m., my mom was half asleep, her face pale from worry. "I'm just going to walk around," I whispered. She only nodded, too tired to protest. Hospitals feel different at night. The hallways seem longer, footsteps echo louder, the lighting flickers just enough to feel wrong. I told myself I'd just walk for a few minutes and come back. But something, maybe curiosity, maybe something else, kept pulling me deeper into the maze. Every corridor looked the same, long, sterile, lined with identical doors. Turn after turn, I began to feel disoriented, like I was looping in circles. Then I felt it, that prickling sensation. Someone was behind me. Every time I turned, the shadows seemed to shift. The light hummed faintly, buzzing in and out. Then I saw it, a door slightly ajar, a faint glow spilling out. Without thinking, I stepped inside and quietly shut it behind me. The air inside was colder. It took a moment for my eyes to adjust. Then I saw them, metal drawers lined neatly against the wall, each with a number and a small tag. The realization hit me. This was the morgue. A shiver ran down my spine. My breath felt heavy and slow. I began stepping backward, my gaze scanning each drawer. Knock. I froze. It hadn't come from the door. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, deliberate, coming from inside one of the drawers. My legs felt weak. My hands shook violently. Against every instinct, I stepped closer and reached for the handle. That's when, "Hey kid, what are you doing here?" I nearly jumped out of my skin. A man in a white coat, a doctor, was standing a few feet away. There was a knock," I stammered. "From one of the drawers?" He didn't answer right away. For a split second, I thought I saw doubt flicker in his eyes. Then he began pulling drawers open, one by one. The metallic clang echoed through the cold room. Each drawer revealed a pale, sheet-covered body with a toe tag dangling at the edge. "See? Just the deceased," he said flatly. But something in his tone told me he wasn't convinced either. He was sliding the last drawer shut when we heard it. Footsteps. The door creaked open, and there he was, the same shadowed man. Only now he was closer. His eyes. God, those eyes. Pitch black, restless, deep enough to swallow thought. His face was lost in darkness. No expression, no human warmth. Just a shape, staring directly at me. I screamed. The doctor turned instantly, but the man was gone. I collapsed to the floor. I don't remember deciding to run. My body just did it. The hospital corridors blurred, doors slammed in the distance. Lights seemed to flicker faster and faster. Something was following me. I could feel it, hear it. I had never run like that in my life, driven by pure, shaking panic. My shoes skidded on the polished floor. My breath came in ragged bursts. Then, "Help me!" The voice wasn't from behind me. It was inside my head. I didn't stop. I couldn't. At last, I stumbled into the waiting room. Bright lights, stale air. My mom still in her chair, eyes half closed, worry etched deep into her face. "Where were you?" she asked, startled. I tried to tell her. The doctor, the morgue, the knocking, the man. But when I opened my mouth, nothing came out. A nurse walked past, her phone light briefly flashing across the room. And for a split second, I thought I saw movement in the shadows behind her. My skin went cold. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. My mom took my hand gently. "The doctor will call us soon," she said. I leaned closer and whispered, "We have to go." That's when it happened. "You shouldn't have opened it." The voice was so close, so clear, it felt like it was whispered directly into my ear. My soul froze. I spun around. Nothing. But then, he was there, the shadowed man, waiting, standing at the edge of the darkness. A faint smile, no eyes, no face, just darkness. And then he was gone. Later, the doctor finally came. My dad's surgery had gone well. My mom cried in relief, but I couldn't shake what had happened. Even now, whenever I pass a morgue, I find myself glancing at the drawers, half expecting to see movement, and sometimes just at the corner of my eye, I do. The black eyes, the faint smile, the same whisper, "Don't open it again." This story didn't end that night. It still follows me, and maybe now that you've heard it, it might follow you too. It was the Friday I always looked forward to, just like every week. The nurses knew that on that day I had to meet someone special. My name is Chris, work at the Harper Low Care Facility, a mid-sized residential care home where elderly people spend the final days of their lives. I'd been working here for a year as a nursing assistant, and every Friday at 8 a.m., I would step into room 19 of Unit A. There an elderly man would be sitting, name Ken Wallace. We'd sit, drink coffee, and listen to his stories from the old days. He was born after World War II, but his memory was so vivid it felt like everything had happened just yesterday. "Chris, do you know, when my wife died, I thought life was over. But this place gives me a reason to keep living every day." "What was your wife's name?" "Jill. She would always bring flowers to my bedside at 7 in the morning." I smiled. It was our usual conversation. But that Friday was different. That day, something strange happened. After the morning meeting, I went to get my duty sheet like always. Junior nurse Emily was sitting there. "Chris, are you going to Ken Wallace's room?" "Yeah, like always." She paused, looking at me as if I'd made a huge mistake. "Ken Wallace? Chris, he died 3 days ago." I laughed. "What? You're joking, right? I saw him just yesterday." "No, look." She slid the file toward me. Date of death, Tuesday, 10:27 a.m. My laughter, my breath, my heartbeat, all stopped for a moment. "You must be mistaken, Emily." "Chris, his body went to the morgue. The wake was held yesterday evening." My hands began to tremble. "But I had coffee with him on Friday. His scent, his voice. I didn't have the courage, but I walked toward room 19. The door was half open. I stepped inside. The room felt frozen. The bed was empty. His signature green sweater, the one Ken always wore, was folded neatly on the chair. But there was something that shouldn't have been there. A fresh cup of coffee, steam still rising. I stepped back. My heart raced. Beside the cup lay a note. For me. When it's not Friday, I wait. When you come for a while, everything feels okay. Ken. I went straight to the admin room. The supervisor, Mrs. Hargrove, had worked here for over 10 years. Something strange is going on with Ken Wallace, I said, still shaken. She took a slow, cold breath. You're not the first, Chris. After Ken died, several nurses have said they still see him in room 19. Some feel his presence, some hear his voice. So, it's real? Yes, and there's something else. She hesitated. What? This isn't Ken's first death. I came back at night, installed cameras, then made my way to the old archive files stored under C block. There it was, an aged, rusted folder. Ken Wallace, deceased 1993. What the hell? How is this possible? According to this file, Ken had lived here before, died of a heart attack in 1993, in room 19. So, was this the same Ken or someone else? Then I checked my Friday recordings, those where Ken was telling me stories. But in the video, only I was there. His voice was audible, but he wasn't visible. On the last Friday, I went to room 19 again. This time, everything was silent. I sat on the chair and spoke aloud. Ken, if you're here, I want to know why. The air turned slightly colder. The chair creaked. Then, a voice. You hear me, Chris, and that's enough. Why are you still here? Why don't you move on? Because every Friday you remind me that I existed, and as long as someone remembers me, I'm not gone. I stayed silent. A shadow passed behind the door. When I turned, the room was empty, but on the table was one last note. That was my last coffee, Chris. Next Friday, I won't be here. That Friday, I went to room 19 again. The chair was empty. The sweater was gone. The table was clean. And no note. Ken was gone, but his voice, his presence, still echoed inside me. Some bonds don't end even after death. Did you also see it move? Ali froze the video and looked at me. His face had gone pale. I replayed the clip. Same moment, same white sheet lying still in the corner, except it shifted just a little. I instinctively held my breath. Man, that could just be the wind. Wind? In a sealed room? Ali gave a short laugh, but his eyes didn't have the usual spark. They were hiding fear. We were 3 friends, me, Ali, and Zane. We ran a YouTube channel where we explored abandoned places, filming haunted or cursed locations, trying to uncover the truth. But Waverly Hills Sanatorium, this was something else entirely. When we reached Louisville, Kentucky, the weather felt like it belonged in an old, desolate film. The sky heavy with clouds, wind howling through the trees. And then as we reached the gates of Waverly Hills, the wind just stopped. This is it? Zane leaned out of the car window. Yeah, this is it. I checked the map on my phone. In front of us stood a rusting sign, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Beyond the locked, corroded gates, a weed-covered staircase led to the looming building, its edges disappearing into the mist. We grabbed our gear, camera, night vision lens, flashlights, and whatever courage we had. The moment we stepped inside, we were hit by an unsettling smell, a mix of old medicine, damp concrete, and that particular scent you only find in places where time has stopped breathing. This place, it's alive, Ali whispered. We began our exploration. Every floor was drenched in silence, as if even the air walked quietly here. Wheelchairs sat abandoned in hallways. Doors creaked on their hinges. Rusted stains marked the walls like dried blood. When we reached room 502, Ali stopped. This is it, the room where several nurses killed themselves. The door was shut. We pushed it open slowly. Inside, in one corner, lay a white sheet. We turned on the camera. "This is the place," Zane said. "People say there's a spirit here that sits under a sheet." I was panning the camera when the screen suddenly went static. "Wait," I signaled to Allie. "Why is the camera glitching?" Zane shone his flashlight on the sheet, and then 2 eyes gleamed from underneath. Not like an animal's eyes, but unmistakably human. We all stumbled back. The camera died instantly. Allie tossed his flashlight toward the corner, but in its beam, the sheet lay still again. There was nothing underneath it now. "We need to leave," Zane's voice trembled, but I wasn't ready to abandon the footage. We turned the camera back on, static again. This time a voice came through, a faint female whisper. "Leave. This is my place." I felt my heartbeat in my throat. We started heading back, but every hallway looked identical now. "We're going in circles," Allie yelled. Zane tried opening a door, but every single one was locked. It felt like something, or someone, had trapped us inside. No matter which floor we reached, the same white sheet was there, always in the corner. Sometimes it was still. Sometimes it swayed slightly. Sometimes eyes stared from underneath it. Sometimes the shadow of a woman stood over it. "That's her," Allie muttered. "The nurse who jumped to her death here." We started running, but the sheet seemed to follow, not with footsteps, but with presence. Every camera flickered and went to static. Our voices echoed, but there was never an answer. We left Zane behind for just a moment. "I'll just check if this room is empty," he said. We heard a door shut. Then, silence. "Zane! Zane, answer!" No reply. When we pushed the door open, all we found was that same sheet, and under it, Zane's phone, still recording. The screen was nothing but static, except for one last image, 2 eyes impossibly close to the camera. We tried every exit, still locked. "We have to give something up," Allie said. "Give what?" I asked. "Her, the nurse. She doesn't want us taking anything. Not pictures, not video, not Zane." We left the camera there, looked back at the sheet. It was swaying gently. And then, the door swung open by itself. As we stepped outside, we turned back. The building stood in the mist, utterly still, silent. But I swear, someone was watching us from one of the windows. And Zane? He never came back. No body, no voice. Just that last video clip, which we never uploaded. The memory still claws at me. We gave up everything after that. Our channel, our explorations, and our courage. Waverly Hills Sanatorium still stands. And maybe that sheet still waits. But remember, if you ever see a white sheet in an empty room, don't look under it.